Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna devotees, welcome back to Chaitanya Charitamrita study class. So we are discussing Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 13. Can someone tell what is that topic we are discussing? What is it actually we are discussing in this chapter? Can someone unmute?
Mahaprabhu's ecstatic dance in Ratha-Yatra.
Yes. Mahaprabhu's ecstatic dance during Ratha-Yatra. So we are discussing from chapter 13. Today we will continue from verse 140, 139 onwards. Yeah, 139 onwards. Let me share the screen. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Purve Uddhava Dvare Ebe Sakshat Amare Yoga Gnane Kahila Upaya Tumi Vidagda Krupa Maya Janaha Amara Hridaya More Ache Kahite Na Uyaya. Translation. My dear Krishna, formerly when you were staying in Mathura, you sent Uddhava to teach me speculative knowledge and mystic yoga. Now you yourself are speaking the same thing, but my mind doesn't accept it. There is no place in my mind for Gnana Yoga or Dhyana Yoga. Although you know me very well, you are still instructing me in Gnana Yoga and Dhyana Yoga. It is not right for you to do so. Can someone read the purport, please?
Yes, Prabhu. The process of mystic yoga, the speculative method for searching out the supreme absolute truth, does not appeal to one who is always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. A devotee is not at all interested in speculative activities. Instead of cultivating speculative knowledge or practicing mystic yoga, a devotee should worship the deity in the temple and continuously engage in the Lord's service. Temple deity worship is realized by the devotees to be the same as direct service to the Lord. The deity is known as the Archa Vigraha or Archa Avatar, an incarnation of the Supreme Lord in the form of material manifestations, brass, stone, or wood. Ultimately, there is no difference between Krishna manifest in matter or Krishna manifest in spirit because both are his energies. For Krishna, there is no distinction between matter and spirit. His manifestation in material form, therefore, is as good as his original form, Sachidananda Vigraha. A devotee constantly engaged in deity worship according to the rules and regulations laid down in the Shastras and given by the spiritual master, he realizes gradually that he is in direct contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, he loses all interest in so called meditation, yoga practice, and mental speculation. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, bro. So we'll read verse 140 and 141 also, just sloka and the translation, then we'll go for a discussion. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 13, text 140. चित्त काधी तो माहैते विषय चाही लागैते यत्नकारी नारी काधी बारे तारे ध्यान शिक्षा कारः लोक हासन मारा स्थान स्थान नकार विचारे. Translation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, I would like to withdraw my consciousness from you and engage it in material activities. But even though I try, I cannot do so. I am naturally inclined to you only. Your instructions for me to meditate on you are therefore simply ludicrous. In this way, you are killing me. It is not good for you to think of me as a candidate for your instruction. Verse 140, 41. नाहे गोपी योगेश्वर पद कमल तोमर ध्यान करी पाइबे संतोष तोमर वाक्य परिपाति परिपाटी तारा मध्य कुटी नति सुनी गोपीर आरो बाधे बाधे रोष. The gopis are not like mystic yogis. They will never be satisfied simply by meditating on your lotus feet and imitating the so-called yogis. Teaching the gopis about meditation is another kind of duplicity. When they are instructed to undergo mystic yoga practice, they are not at all satisfied. On the contrary, they become more and more angry with you. Hari Om Tat Sat. ओम अज्ञानतिवृन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरि ओम तत्सत्. हरे कृष्ण. So we are discussing the feelings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during Ratha-Yatra pastimes. So in this section, we are seeing how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is manifesting the mood of Srimati Radharani when he was dancing in front of Ratha-Yatra, in front of Lord Jagannath. He completely absorbed in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And he is reciting these slokas. For those, assume that we are personally present in that Ratha-Yatra pastime where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is pulling Ratha. In fact, actually we are personally present there as we are hearing this pastime. Many of people in this world, they are not aware of who Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. The whole world's population is more than 8.3 billion. How many of them they are aware of the identity of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? If someone is personally present during Rath-Yatra and hearing this sloka, hearing this the mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Jagannath, he says, my dear Krishna, formerly when you are staying in Mathura, you sent Uddhava to teach me speculative knowledge and mystic yoga. Now you are yourself speaking the same thing, but my mind doesn't accept it. If somebody sees this conversation or the sloka recitation of the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu telling Jagannath, no one can understand this. It is only by the mercy of Swarup Damodara and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. We are, and Srila Prabhupada, of course, most importantly, we are able to understand the mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has manifested, completely absorbed the mood of Srimati Radharani. He went into that pastime of Kurukshetra when Srimati Radharani, all the gopis, they assembled to see Lord Krishna in Kurukshetra. So Chaitanya Prabhu is completely absorbed in that mood. He went into the mood of Srimati Radharani and he is seeing Krishna, who is in the chariot as Jagannath, as Krishna in Kurukshetra. So he is addressing Jagannath as Srimati Radharani is addressing to Krishna in Kurukshetra. So during the Kurukshetra time, before the war, when all the gopis of Vrindavana along with Radharani, they assembled there to meet Krishna. So from this discussion, we understand that Krishna was trying to give some Jnana Yoga to all the gopis and Srimati Radharani, that you meditate upon me, I am the Paramatma, I am everywhere, I am there in your heart. So please engage your mind and heart on my lotus feet, meditate on me. So Srimati Radharani is questioning Krishna. Krishna was trying to give Jnana Yoga. And the same Krishna has given this Jnana Yoga, or the whole Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna post this discussion when Kurukshetra war started. Arjuna never denied. Arjuna never said, hey Krishna, tell me about Bhakti Yoga. Because Arjuna was in that situation where he had to get the whole knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, including Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. It exactly represents our situation. Arjuna was representing our condition. Completely lost what I'm supposed to do. We are completely lost in this material world. Exactly opposite to the situation of Srimati Radharani, which she is expressing here. Krishna, when Srimati Radharani was Radharani and all the gopis, they met Krishna. Krishna was there, gopis were there, but Srimati Radharani, she was not able to relish the association of Krishna. It's exactly, as I said, it exactly represents our situation. Holy name is there. Whole process is given to us. But we are not able to relish the presence of Krishna with us. Srimati Radharani wishes Lord's association in Vrindavan. She is actually in the previous sloka, which Swarup Krishna Prabhu has beautifully explained in the previous class. In verse 138, he concluded that, "O my dear Lord, kindly hear my true submission. My home is Vrindavana and I wish your association there. But if I do not get it, then it will be very difficult for me to keep up my life." So this is the mood of Brajavasis. This is the mood of gopis, mood of Srimati Radharani. So what actually she meant. She doesn't mean actually every one of us have to go to Vrindavana and enjoy the pastime there only, or feel association of Krishna there only. What she meant was to carry the mood of Vrindavana. Because in Kurukshetra, the mood was completely different. Krishna like is a most opulent personality in Dwaraka, Mathura, and she's telling all of us through this wonderful pastime that she's actually meant in the mood of Vrindavana. In the mood of Vrindavana, one must associate with the Lord. So that is the essence which she's talking about. And she says that, hey Krishna, please don't talk all this Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga. It's all for not for us. My mind is not for that. I don't care about dhyana, I don't care about jnana, I don't care about karma. Please don't do all these things. Indirectly, she is telling how one must, we as a followers of gopis, must carry the mood. When Krishna is trying to tell about Jnana Yoga to gopis and Srimati Radharani, she says, please don't confuse me with all this philosophy. As Arjuna would never told this, because Arjuna wanted these beatings as we also want. There's Srimati Radharani. Once we follow the footsteps of Srimati Radharani, we elevate to that stage. We go beyond all this dhyana, jnana, karma yoga. Sarvadharman pariteja mamekam sharanam vraja. Give up all these yogas, all these processes of activities, and surrender to Krishna. So this is a true process which we are trying to understand from this particular pastime of Srimad Radharani, or Lord Chaitanya Prabhu is submitting his heart to Jagannath. Srimad Radharani submitting her heart to Krishna. This is the beauty of Chaitanya Charitamrita. The mood of Srimad Radharani was not revealed in any other scriptures. You take Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, even Bhagavatam, when the name was not mentioned, name of Srimad Radharani was not mentioned. Once Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura mentions that even all the scriptures vanishes in this material world. All the scripture, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, all the scriptures vanishes. But even one Chaitanya Charitamrita remains. That is enough. We can revive all the other scriptures back. The Chaitanya Charitamrita is a condensed nectar which is not available in any other scriptures. Nectar of all the scriptures is available in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we never find such an intimate feelings of Srimati Radharani anywhere else than what we find in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's told Guhyatamam, the most confidential. It is not easy to understand, not easy to absorb. That's why Srimad Radharani is specifically mentioning here that she's warning us actually that don't get into this speculative knowledge and mystic yoga. She is reminding the pastime of Uddhava coming to Vrindavana when Krishna was there in Mathura. He sent Uddhava to Vrindavana to pacify Srimad Radharani, pacify gopis. And there Uddhava was trying to give the knowledge of, oh, you are all great personalities. You meditate on Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna is there everywhere. So she is reminding Krishna that you already did once. You already did one mistake of sending Uddhava, trying to teach us how to meditate on you. In fact, hey Krishna, we are already completely absorbed on you. What is you talking about? Where is the question of meditating on your lotus feet? You are already there in your heart. Now again, hey Krishna, you are telling the same thing to me and gopis. What is this? These are the things, don't confuse us with all this uh, philosophy. We are not for that. What she is actually meant is to tell us that don't go behind all this speculative knowledge and jnana, karma, as long as it relates to Krishna, it is okay. Karma kanda, do all the activities for the pleasure of Krishna, it is okay. Any jnana which connects us to Krishna, it is okay. Yoga itself means connecting to the Lord. Any activity which doesn't help us to connect to the Lord, whether it is jnana, karma, or even bhakti for that matter, if that doesn't connect us to the Lord, that process is useless. That is what Srimad Radharani is trying to tell here. This is exactly what um, in Chaitanya, in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami explains. I share this slide. Yeah. This is what Sri Prabhupada is referring to in next sloka. In the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning this. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavrutam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhakti ruttama. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is nectar of devotion. As Swarupa Krishna Prabhu has beautifully explained this verse also in the last week's class. The mood of Brajavasis, the mood of Srimati Radharani, which we must try to practice their footsteps. What exactly is a mood? Is what we are seeing here. This was why today His Grace Birkish Prabhu recited this Shat Goswami Ashtakam. Very, very beautiful glorification of Shat Goswamis. Rupa Goswami, who is a chief of Shat Goswamis, is the most prominent followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They reside in Vrindavana, propagated Krishna consciousness, the following footsteps of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Having heard from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they have written so many wonderful scriptures. And one of the scripture written by Rupa Goswami is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which we are seeing on the screen, this sloka. It's told that Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is a literary incarnation of Srimati Radharani. Because this whole mood of Srimati Radharani is completely presented in the form of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Rupa Goswami has beautifully presented this. The whole mood, how one must start the process of bhakti with a complete shraddha, the faith, and reach to the stage of prema, the, the ultimate bhava of Brajavasis. So, in this process, Rupa Goswami defines what is actually bhakti. Bhakti, we think that okay, bhakti is okay, offering a flower to the Lord, offering a bhoga to the Lord, or showing the dhoop or deep to the Lord. Is this a bhakti? He explains the definition of bhakti, very important for sadhakas like every one of us. Let's try to deep dive into this uh, shloka, the definition of Uttama Bhakti, the pure devotional service, which is what Srimati Radharani exhibiting in this shloka. This shloka has got two most important characteristics. We'll not go into very detailed because it is not a topic of discussion. This shloka has the definition of bhakti, or the shloka has got two most important characteristics, which is a swarupa lakshana, tatastha lakshana, primary characteristics and secondary characteristics. What is the primary characteristics? From the shloka itself, we will take Krishna anukulyena Krishna anushilanam. So this there's a third line. Annabilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavrutam anukulyena Krishna anushilanam. Anukulyena Krishna anushilanam. This is the most important aspect of this sloka. This is a swarupa lakshana, primary characteristic, most important characteristic of whatever we do must be for pleasure of Krishna. That is a bhakti. So if you break down this the sentence anukulyena Krishnanushilanam, this has got three important words here. Krishna means whatever activity we do for the pleasure of Krishna, it is not for my pleasure. I offered bhoga to Krishna. It is not for me to enjoy. It is for the pleasure of Krishna. Generally, we have tendency, sadhakas, of course, we start the process of bhakti with the basic rules and regulations. Okay, whatever we eat must be offered to Krishna. Whatever we do must be offered to Krishna. So that is a training part. But ultimately, we have to be disciplined to understand that this is for Krishna, not for my pleasure. Not that gulab jamun I want to eat. Oh, because my Shiksha Guru told you cannot eat anything unless you offer to Krishna. Because I want to eat gulab jamun, I will offer to Krishna and eat. No, that is not Swarupa Lakshana. That is not, that exactly goes opposite direction of what Srimati Radharani is saying. For Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna only. Anukulyena, third part, if you see here, this is favorable intention. It must be with a mood of giving a pleasure to Krishna. Not that, okay, we do casually and we don't have any intention, but we are just offering. Though we know, okay, I don't have pleasure to, I don't have intention to eat gulab jamun, but still I'm offering to Krishna, kept in the front of Krishna, and just ring the bell and pay obeisances and come out. There is no mood, there is no feel, there is no intention to please Krishna. I'm offering just daily because I have deities at home. Daily 5 times I have to offered it. It must be for with a favorable intention. Anukulyena. Any activity we do in our life must be helping us to advance in Krishna consciousness. Then only that is called bhakti. Now we are trying to understand the definition of bhakti. Any activity we do which helps us in advancing Krishna consciousness, in advancing our devotion, that only is considered as bhakti. We do everything. Suppose my Shiksha Guru told chant 16 rounds and do Mangalati. I did everything. After that, I kept everything aside. Then I do all my nonsense for the rest of the day. No. Any activity which doesn't help for me to advance in Krishna consciousness, that must be rejected. Pratikuliyasya varjanam. Anukulasya sevam. One must accept or do those activities which helps us in Krishna consciousness. Pratikulyasya varjanam. We have to reject those activities. Even a slightest possibility of bringing us down from our bhakti, we must completely reject it. And most important part of this bhakti is anushilanam. Anushilanam. This is got again two words. Anushilanam. Shilanam is doing, performing. Word anu here has very important aspect. Anu has got two different meanings. One is following parampara or following what has been told. Second one is continuous. Means bhakti is not a part-time job. It is not a one-time activity. It is a continuous, repetitive process. Anushilanam. Actively, we must be engaged. We must engage in devotion. Continuous. And it must be what? Not based on my own wills and whims and this one. It must be what my predecessors, my acharyas have told me. Suppose I say, I get up morning at 4 o'clock. So, Acharya told that, okay, get up morning and do Mangalarti and follow a process of bhakti, what has been told. But we do something, we get up midnight and watch some movies or something and then again sleep, then do something else. Getting up early is not important. Getting up early for following instructions of Acharya is important. Get up in the morning, do what? We have Acharya says that Brahma Murta, getting up Brahma Murta time is very important. Okay, we get up Brahma Murta and start watching a TV. No. We have to follow the instructions of Acharyas. What they have told. Get up Brahma Murta and chant. Get up Brahma Murta and practice devotional service. That is Anushilanam. So then the whole thing becomes complete. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. For the favorable intention, we must engage in devotional service, following instructions of Acharyas. They laid certain rules. Do this, do this, do this. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. The 4 regular principles. No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. There are certain don'ts, certain do's. So both positive and negative. The instructions to be followed. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. So then it becomes the bhakti. Rupa Goswami says, only then one will be the shelter of internal potency, which is Srimati Radharani, which is what we are discussing, the mood of Srimati Radharani. She says that secondary characteristics, Tatastha Lakshana, Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavrutam. She says that, hey Krishna, don't teach me all this Jnana, Vairagya. No. What is a Vairagya? Vairagya is not something which we try to sacrifice, which we don't like. Somebody may say, okay, I sacrificed eating Karela. I sacrificed eating, taking sweets because I don't like. So this is not a renunciation. Renunciation is sacrificing something which Krishna doesn't like. He doesn't like us to do. That must be sacrifice. Even we like, we are so hankering, attached to that. Krishna doesn't like sacrifice. Jnana karmadi anavritam. Srimad Radharani says, I don't need all this philosophy, all these lectures you are trying to give me, a Krishna, which is focusing on jnana, karma, etc., etc. What Srimad Radharani is telling us is, we do bhakti. We must perform this bhakti, which is, means bhakti is what again? Any activity, we go back to Swarupa Lakshana, primary characteristics. Any activity which gives pleasure to Krishna for the satisfaction of Krishna. Like for example, there are two cases, two examples we can discuss. Kamsa was also remembering Krishna every time. There is a Krishna Anushilanam is there. Always he was remembering Krishna every moment. But there is no anukulyena, not with a favorable intention. He was hatred in his heart. Duryodhana, Shishupala, Kamsa, all these demonic personalities. They were also remembering Krishna, but what is missing here is anukulyena. And there is no proper anushilanam. But remembering Krishna was there. There is no anu, means there is no remembering Krishna or doing activities for Krishna as per scriptures, what acharyas were told. They were remembering Krishna out of hatredness. So that is not bhakti. Now again, second example we take is Yashodamai. Yashodamai, when she was feeding Krishna, Damodar lila pastime, when she was feeding Krishna, and she left Krishna's side and she went to put off the stove and take the milk vessel from the stove. Will that be considered as, because she left Krishna's side and she ran? Can we say that she is not Anukulyani Krishna Shilanam? No. She was always remembering Krishna. With a favorable intention, she left Krishna's side and she ran. So this is not against principles. So this further pleasure. Though Krishna acted as if he got angry and enacted pastime of Damodar lila, but that was to highlight the real mood of a devotee, that yes, always remember me, any given situation. That was Anukulyani Krishna Anushlan. Now, secondary characteristics of that is remembering Krishna with what? With freedom from any ulterior motive. Anyabhilashita shunyam, not with any other desire. There are two important concepts here. Abhilasha, Abhilashita. Anyabhilasha shunyam, he didn't tell. Rupa Goswami didn't say Anyabhilasha shunya. Abhilasha means desire. What is Abhilasha? Why you use the word Abhilashita? Anya means there is no any desire. Anya Abhilasha. There is no desire. Means I want this, I want this Krishna, I want my promotion, I want my job. So I am doing Anukulyani Krishna Anushkilanam. I do everything. But what is my ulterior motive? Everything is there. My favorable intention is there. I want to please Krishna. Anushilana, I am following instructions of acharyas. I am doing everything. But what is my ulterior motive? I want job. I am facing a problem in my life. So I want freedom from all these things. So that is my ulterior motive. Anya Abhilash. That's why Rupa Goswami says Anya Abhilasha, Abhilashita. The difference between Abhilasha and Abhilashita, Abhilasha is a desire. Abhilashita is a tendency to desire also should not be there. I should not have a tendency to desire. That is the whole. When we go back to Golak Vrindavana, or when we leave from this material world, go back to spiritual world, what is it tested is abhilashita. Abhilasha, we may not have the desire, but abhilasha, the tendency to desire. Even we are we have an opportunity to get provoked in a given situation. That also should not be there. I don't have desire. I don't have desire to eat gulab jamun. When I go outside of the road, I see a nice restaurant displaying gulab jamun. I don't have desire. But tendency to desire, somebody is offering, hey, what a beautiful it is, you should try. So again, it sprouts, a desire sprouts. That tendency also should not be there. Shunyam, zero. There is no, should not be any desire or tendency to desire. Then Rupa Goswami continues, that is actual whole topic of discussion. Why we are talking about this sloka is Jnana Karmadi Anavrutam. There is not covered, my activity should not be covered by Jnana or Karma. Means there is no tendency to be away from Krishna, talk something differently about the demigods or any other philosophy, jnana, should not be there. Not covered by any of these tendencies. Jnana, karma, adi. Adi here is yoga, renunciation. As renunciation already we discussed. Like, oh, I'm giving up everything. I'm renouncing. Like we hear milk drinking brahmachari in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the pastime. Like I sacrificed everything. I don't eat food. I drink only milk. I do fasting every alternate weeks, or every second day I do fast. These are all what is called not a real renunciation. One should renunciation should be what? It should be yukta vairagya, not a shushka vairagya. Yukta vairagya is renouncing for the pleasure of Krishna. Any renunciation that helps, like somebody, I heard in one of the members recently, one Mataji, she could not do Ekadashi. She did not follow Ekadashi, or she missed Ekadashi, doing Ekadashi. She did Maunavrata. Whole day she followed, she practiced Maunavrata. I don't speak to anybody. So I remain without talking to anybody. Will that help me in my Krishna consciousness? No. Instead, if we, for some reason, we miss Ekadashi or something, we should try to engage more in the devotional service, chant more, do more devotional activities. So these are the not like these are jnana, karma. Our scripture somewhere okay, you do this renunciation or this austerity, do this homa, or do Shani puja. These are not required. These are all avrutam. These are all covered by dry philosophy. These things will not help. So the two parts we are discussing in this sloka is one which we must do, and second one is we try to avoid. What we try to avoid? Jnana karmadi anavrutam. Our activity must be free from any of ulterior motives. Not with the I learned Bhagavad Gita, all the 700 slokas I learned. So I call all the people and show my talents. Though it may please Krishna, Krishna may will feel happy that okay, you try to remember all my slokas, whatever I told. But what is your ultimate your motive? Your motive is to show your talent, or I'm a gnani, I understood everything. No. If these activities are covered, that is not called bhakti. Now, what are we trying to understand from this sloka is the mood of Srimad Radharani is to uh, sorry, yeah. Mood of Srimad Radharani is here. She is telling us that stop following all this jnana, vairagya, karma kanda, all these activities. She says that one who is already engaged in bhakti, like all the gopis, they are already meditating on Krishna. Not only gopis, all Brajavasis for that matter, they are already engaged in meditating Krishna. So they don't have to follow this the process of jnana, karma kanda, all these things. So they're all dry philosophy. So we also seen the example of Vasudev. I told this story many times previously. Vasudev crossing the Yamuna river because he's a Brajavasi. He always remember Krishna in his heart. So he don't need to go pray to Yamuna. Hey Krishna, please help me. This Yamuna is creating a problem. I cannot take you to cross this Yamuna. No, because he is constantly meditating on Krishna. Yamuna gave the way and he passed. Even return journey of Vasudev also we seen that even Krishna was not there. He was carrying Maya on his head. Still, Yamuna gave the way because he was completely meditating Krishna, and Yamuna seen Krishna in the heart of Vasudev. So this is a mood of Brajavasis. So they don't need any separate training sessions how to advance in Krishna consciousness. They don't need a separate sessions. Even for us, when we follow the footsteps of gopis, it becomes so spontaneous because all spontaneous devotees. The bhakti comes spontaneously because what is the difference between others and Brajavasis? For them, the only hankering always in the heart is how can I please Krishna? How can I make him happy? That should be the mood. So it is like one who is already liberated. There is no question of liberation for him. For devotees, though they are in this material world, they are called already. They are all already liberated because they are already in the mood of bhakti. Even though they are in this material world, they constantly remember Krishna. They constantly meditate Krishna all the time. So they don't need any separate process of liberation. So uh, in this uh, material world, everything whatever is given to us was only for the pleasure of Krishna. Any activity we do, anything we perform, we must use all the appliances whatever is given to us only for the pleasure of Krishna, not for our own pleasure, is the essence of uh, the slokas what we discussed. The gopis, as we seen in the 141 verse, they are not happy. Rather, he says, hey, Krishna, don't do all this nonsense. They are actually getting angry. They are all getting angry because you are talking dry philosophy to us. So she is actually telling us that go beyond all this. Try to follow footsteps of gopis. Then all of you are already liberated. She says, when you do this, all of you are already liberated. You don't need a separate process. It is like a recently I seen one someone was telling the 6 steps to easily becoming poor. Can somebody ready to attend the course like such course? How to become poor? That everybody knows. Like if we are not properly disciplined in our financial activities, if we are not focused in our work, all these there are six different habits that make us poor. I'm not going into that, that's completely material discourse. The six habits that make us poor is no one wants to do that course because we don't want to become a poor. But actually, what are we doing? We are actually attending a complete course in this material world, how to become spiritually poor. And if somebody is telling how to become a rich in materially in material world, if somebody offers this course, people will run. They're ready to pay millions, and the person who's conducting a course will become a millionaire. But here in the spiritual world, in our Krishna consciousness, if somebody is trying to tell us how to become spiritually rich, we are not interested. We are not interested. We want to know how to become spiritually poor, and we are trying all our best to make sure that we are becoming a poor. Spiritual suicide. That's why what Swarup Krishna Prabhu was telling last week class also. It is actually time for our spiritual introspection. Are we really serious in bhakti? What is a bhakti? We try to understand today. What is a real bhakti? We try to understand. Let us try to introspect. Are we really into it? If not, what are we supposed to do to make it happen? So this is a homework, take home message and homework for all of us. Hare Krishna. This ends Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 13, text 140, 139 to 141. Any questions, comments? If no questions, comments, someone can recap points. What are we, if we're not sleeping? Those who are not sleeping. What are we heard, understood, discussed, if at all anything, can share few points.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. You told that point, no Prabhu, that Yashoda Mata is binding Lord Krishna. That means that point is good, Prabhu. But I cannot able to explain properly. I've forgotten.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Anybody
Hare
else?
Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dhanavad Pram.
Hare
So
Krishna.
I get to know that ki Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling to the Lord Krishna, means Jagannath ji, ki you before you done like this, okay, and so he's remembering currently ki before this is happens, and this is getting narrated by the Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ji. Means Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ji remembering this, कि this is happen, means he's seen that कि Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing like that. So that time this is today I get to know that कि this is like hierarchy is coming, and whatever is mentioned that, and in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, that कि though as you mentioned today कि never not a place in a Bhagavad Gita or in a Bhagavatam that कि Radharani's name is not written. That we know that कि why it not written in the Bhagavatam. Little bit we know that कि Sukadev Goswami ji will be, if he will start speaking, he will be go in that ecstasy mood, and he cannot able to speak furthermore. But through the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can understand what was the mood of the Radharani ji. So really today it is good point for me to put more on the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dhanat Pranam, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, actually, whatever Krishna Goswami is mentioned here, about the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if as I was mentioning, if we are in that situation, suppose we go and participate in that pastime where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dancing and all the devotees are dancing, pulling Ratha, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Jagannath, hey, Krishna, don't tell all this dry philosophy to me. People will wonder, what is this? Jagannath has not told anything to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is that he is talking about? Who narrated this? Who understood this pastime is Swarup Damodar Prabhu. So Swarup Damodar. So he recorded all these events, which was subsequently passed on to us. So this is only the real true associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who were present in that pastime. They could understand the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He went into the mood of Radharani, that Swarup Damodar and other associates, they understood. So because of their mercy, whatever they documented, they passed on to us. So we are coming to know. Otherwise, we will be like one of the 8.3 billion world population, not knowing. First of all, we don't understand Chaitanya Prabhu is having this mood of Srimad Radharani. He is none other than Krishna. We don't understand. It's only because of mercy of our acharyas we are able to.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Conclude.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So my Prabhu, you are able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
So my take-home message here is, Prabhu, regarding the poor. You touched about the poor. You need to introspect. So first thing is material poorness is there and bhakti poorness is there, Prabhu. When you said poor, my realization started. Are you poor in your bhakti process or not? So we need to introspect both, Prabhu. We need to become rich in bhakti. I want to become rich in bhakti. That is my. I will introspect that I will rich in bhakti and rich in material also. If I am rich in material, I can give something to. I can do something, Prabhu. So both I have to work together. It's a togetherness, Prabhu. Both I need to work on that to become rich in bhakti and rich in material aspect also, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This is my relation, Prabhu. Take home.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, rich in opulence, material opulence, is what Krishna decides if our intention are true, genuine, that we can engage that into Krishna consciousness. Like Prabhupada, how he built the whole empire of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and so much of funds were flooded. He went to buy a temple. He didn't have any money. He said, okay, $1 million. Okay, I'll take this. Where the money will come, Krishna will give. So Krishna knows for what we are going to utilize. If we want to become rich materially also and use that spiritually also, Krishna knows our real intentions. So he will decide, and like it's a difference between needs and wants. So Krishna knows, Krishna decides what is required and what is to be given. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thanks for your realization. So if there are no other comments or questions or realizations, so we'll end the session here. श्री श्री चैतन्य चैतामृता ग्रंथराज की जय, कृष्ण गोस्वामी की जय, और प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। पांचा कल्पतरु नाम पावने वैष्णव
कोटि वैष्णव की जय, गुरु महाराज की